So yeah, I'm going to be talking about primarily YouTube content creation and mostly long form media. So the first thing, just before talking about this, I kind of got to convince you guys, why should you listen to me in the first place? So if you see on the slide there's a couple points, but in general, content creation is a way to market your games, and it's marketing your games in a way that pays for itself. Like, that is extremely rare, never seen before. It's outstanding. Content creation as well, it creates a more connection with the audience. Long form media, you're seeing long form videos over a long period of time. These are real people that you understand, all your favorite content creators. If you can make a connection with gamers, then you can sell your video game to those same people. They're more likely to want to play the games. So yeah, I would definitely pay attention to this talk, because you can make money and people are going to play your game. So just to introduce myself, if you don't know who I am, I've been a content creator for over 10 years. You can see a picture on the left. That's my 100 subscriber special. I was a Minecraft YouTuber, 300 subscribers, not very successful, but I had a lot of fun. The second photo is just me winning a tournament when I was 15, so I am a professional gamer. I compete in Brawlhalla and Multiverses, and that's from DreamHack Austin. It was a fun tournament. And through that practice, I built up a platform where people watch me to improve at video games. I do a lot of other kinds of videos, more creative, that don't require a professional player to play. So today I'm going to be talking about how you can make your own content that markets your video games. And you can see on the far photo, I have over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Just in general, for stats, like, I've made over 2,000 videos. I'm only 21, so 2,000 videos is a lot of work. And just combined across all platforms, I have over 250,000 followers. So just a little bit of credibility of why I'm speaking here. So if you want to start your own content, this presentation is going to be going over a 4-step plan on how to do it. Step 1, we got to understand your value as game devs. Focus on what you're good at. We'll be talking about it in a bit. Step 2 is picking a target audience based on what you're good at. Step 3 is the pre-production stage. The pre-production is 50% of the battle. It is equally as important as making the video itself. And step 4 is the execution and making the video. So before getting into this, we got to do step 1. We got to understand what you're good at. So I put up a little, creator profile. You can relate to it yourself and think about your own creator profile. For example, this guy's name is Jason. Jason loves video games, like all of us here. Jason is also a game developer, so he shares similarities. But most importantly, Jason has a few specific skills that he really enjoys. He loves level design, gameplay programming, and 2D art. So you guys can all think about what you and your specific skills are and how do you apply that to the videos you are going to make. So now let's understand the target audience. So first, Jason likes 2D games. So let's say his favorite game is a 2D platformer like Mario Bros. And he wants to reach gamers that enjoy that kind of audience. There's 2 kinds of audiences when you're trying to reach that. There's your total audience. This is a wider audience of every single person who's ever played a 2D platformer game. Your parents, your cousins, etc. But then there's the niche audience. This is your immediate audience. These are people who are going to play or watch your videos first. They're the earliest ones in. They're the people who love the medium. So understanding those 2 audiences, how can we reach them? And to reach them is creating content. To do that, you need the YouTube production pipeline. So every single YouTuber goes through this pipeline. It starts with the idea, and the idea is, again, 50% of it. We're going to be going heavily into the idea. Then it's just planning the recording, what you want to do creatively. Then it's recording it, a very creative endeavor, editing it. Then the thumbnail is how you represent your idea. That is equally as important. And then releasing the actual video. And that's the pipeline for every single long-form media content. So now we talked about the first 2 steps. Let's talk about the third step, the pre-production stage. So there's a couple different types of content that, when you're producing a video, you gotta, what kind of content do you want to make? So the 2 types of content we're going to primarily go over are SEO and browse videos. SEO, as you all know, probably stands for search engine optimization. So it's targeting people who are searching for a specific result. Making videos for people that want something and it's exact. Or browse, it's a much wider audience of people who might play your game, might not, and it's more videos and you're making your video in a way that drives curiosity for a wide audience. So like we talked about in the last couple slides, your immediate audience, like your niche audience, or your larger demographic, your target audience in general. Some other forms of content, there's live streaming, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and a lot of other video content on other platforms like Twitter and Instagram. We're not going to be going over too much in this because my experience is from long form media content creation, although I do have some short form. So if you want to make YouTube Shorts or TikTok, ask me any questions later on. So before going into the idea, I just want to show you a quote from Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast is arguably the most successful YouTuber, but most importantly, your videos get the views they deserve. The number one thing I see people get scared of is you need subscribers to get views. You need an audience already. At the end of the day, YouTube is fair. Your videos get the views it deserves, and I'm going to prove that. So let's do a little bit of market research, and let's take a look at some game development YouTube videos. So here's 2 game development YouTube videos. The first one is a guide on how to make a 2D platformer. This is exactly a video Jason would want to make. This channel that made it 2 years ago has only 3,000 subscribers. So even though they got 200,000 views, they only have 3,000 subscribers. So how did they get that many views? The channel's got 75 videos, so it's a good amount of videos, but 200,000 is crazy. The second video, making a game in 1 second, this got 1 million views, and the channel has 14,000 subscribers. I guarantee you when that video was posted, they had less subscribers. And 117 videos, so they're also on the grind. So why did these 2 videos get views? These 2 videos got views because one targets SEO, the other targets browse. SEO videos are for a specific audience, so people who want to search up 2D platformer games will see this, it's clear, they'll click on it. Where the other one, it's a wider audience. Every single gamer could look at that title and ask themselves, how do you make a game in 1 second? Like, that is really interesting, and it creates curiosity. And curiosity is that foundation if you want to make YouTube videos for a larger audience. So as we talked about in the last slide, SEO and browse are the 2 kinds of long form videos on YouTube. SEO is a clear value proposition for a specific search audience. And a value proposition is what does the video provide? Every video provides some kind of value. Where the second one, browse is also a clear value proposition, but it's one that interests a much larger audience. And it's driven through curiosity. So if we're making SEO videos, let's do a little bit of SEO market research. We all don't have money, so we can't pay for the tools that do it for us. So I really recommend using YouTube search and Google Trends. If you search up the genre that you are making videos for, you'll see a ton of search results on these 2 platforms. As you can see on the left, 2D platformer has Unity, Godot, 2D platformer games, Unreal, level design. You know, Jason loves level design. So that's one way to do some research. And Google Trends as well, you search up the inquiry and you see what's related or what's the rising topics. These are great tools for picking which audience you're trying to make videos for. And so using that market research, I've formed a couple YouTube video ideas for Jason. So I like scoring the ideas from 1 to 10. That way, if I write down 1 million ideas on a Google Sheet, I can organize them very easily. So the first idea that I scored a 10 is how do you make a 2D platformer game in X game engine for 2024? And I know a lot of you are thinking, there's so many guides online. Why would I make a guide? At the end of the day, there's not enough guides because things change. All the top search results right now are guides from over 2 years ago. So you can be that difference and provide something new. People are more likely to click a guide that is more recent and it's more practical. Another example is people are searching up what are the best 2D platformer games. Like in the last slide, I'll actually go back. One of the largest search results is 2D platformer games. So you can still target search by making a video showcasing the best 2D platformer games. Jason loves 2D platformer games, so make a top 50 list. There's a bunch of other ideas like how to do design, level design for 2D platformer games, 2D platformer movement tutorial. These are videos Jason would love. I'm also going to post the slides if you guys want to steal these video ideas or at least innovate from them. So I'll send that in the Game That Drinks Discord. So 2 final tips before moving on from SEO. Keywords are very important. So pick words that people are using in their search result and don't just put them in your title, put them in your description and put them in the tags. But most importantly, the description. The first 2 sentences of the description describe the video, but if you use these keywords, they're more likely to appear on more search results. The tags are kind of useless. I would still do them, but it's not really proven. But the title and description are the most important. Where the second thing when making an SEO video is be as clear as possible. Tell people why their search result is related to the video you're providing. if I'm searching for a 2D platformer guide in Unity, make it look like a 2D platformer guide in Unity as quickly as possible. It doesn't need to look good, it just needs to be clear. So now we've talked about SEO, let's move on to browse videos. And browse videos are the ones that are the most viral. This is YouTube's homepage, they're recommended. So let's do a bit of market research once again. And I looked up game development and I saw which browse videos were doing well. And I found this one. It's titled Undertale is a horribly made game. And if you played Undertale, you know it's one of the best games of our generation, right? It's outstanding. So why would someone say it's horrible? And that curiosity is what drives clicks. And this video has 300,000 views, only 12,000 subscribers. So same thing, videos get the views they deserve, right? So that curiosity factor, why is it horrible? That's the value proposition in this case. And you know, the use of the word horrible creates an emotional connection that makes people even more curious. So let's take a look at another example. This video has 165,000 views. It's got 9,000 subscribers. So how did it get this many views? Well, everybody in the game development space wants to kind of, you know, how good is Fiverr? Right? I think we all know what Fiverr is. How good are Fiverr game devs? That curiosity factor targets a wide audience of anyone who is a game developer or interested in seeing the difference between paying for someone to make a game. So yes, we don't have $1,000 to throw at a YouTube video, but this is good market research. So how can we drive curiosity to our own stuff on a budget? Last but not least, I want to go over a video from one of my friends. Vondike is the homie. He's a great guy. 700,000 views, and he's got 16,000 subscribers. So once again, almost 1 million views, and it's not about how many subscribers. This video is about the Brawlhalla Pro everyone hated. So it's similar to the first one. You pick something that a large amount of people know. So I think most people in this room know at least what Brawlhalla is. But most importantly, why is this pro hated? The word hated, it creates strong emotional connection. So that will drive engagement because anyone would want to know, why is a pro hated? Like in any game, you could make the same thumbnail and title, and I think it would do just as well. So with all that market research, here's a couple browse video ideas that I've created for Jason. And once again, I've scored them from 1 to 10. And number 10, one idea would be why Unity game devs hate Unreal. And yes, we don't hate Unreal, but there's a large portion of people here who do not use Unreal and will stick to Unity only. So that value you're providing is game development value, but also you can kind of package it in a way that creates a more emotional connection to your audience, but it's not clickbait because you're delivering on why you actually won't use Unreal. It's not hate, but it's hate in that small context, right? So it's not misleading, but it's a way to create emotional connection to market yourself. Some other ideas are, what if you entered the biggest game jam in the world? Game jams are pretty affordable to enter. If you enter some really massive one, any game developer wants to know what is the biggest game jam like. And I'm not going to go over all of them, but the third one is why Mario Bros is actually terrible. I think we've all played Mario Wonder. Not Mario Bros, but Mario Wonder specifically. That game is amazing. I love it. The final boss is pretty mid, and the game is pretty short. So you can definitely make a video talking about the issues in Mario Wonder. Even if you don't think it's terrible, you can agree that that aspect of it is terrible. So once again, there's other ideas there if you want to take a look at the slide later. But in general, just to summarize the main key points, provide new value to viewers. If you're driving curiosity, the definition of curiosity is to be curious, and you're not going to be curious about something you already know. So create something new or create an emotional connection that asks or makes people ask questions in their minds that is new to them. Why do you hate Unreal? Why do you hate Mario Wonder? Because those are great games and a great engine. Another thing for browse is target a wider audience. I'm not making a guide on how to do 2D game development because the people who see videos in the browse, they're probably not game devs. They're probably just gamers. It's a wider audience. So making video ideas that drive curiosity, but to anyone in the gaming space or within your broader niche, like let's say 2D platformers, target all of them, not just the ones that want to make them. So we talked about the pre-production. The last thing is the recording. This presentation is not going to go over too much detail with the recording process. YouTube is very creative. Make the videos you want to make, but here's a couple tips that can help you. Number one, just get straight into the video. I'm really tired of long YouTube intros. It's really annoying when they just talk and yap for like 90 seconds straight. Whatever the video's value is, deliver on it immediately. Next, throw your ego aside. A lot of people here probably haven't started YouTube videos because they don't know how to start or they're not confident in their skills when starting. After 2,000 YouTube videos, I do not care what I uploaded 10 years ago. And if you start now, you're gonna feel the same in literally 6 months, I'm sure, right? Every video keeps improving. Your first video is not gonna be very good. Your second video is not gonna be very good. Your third video is not gonna be good. But your 100th video is going to be outstanding in comparison. And last but not least, storytelling. We've all taken grade 12 English, high school English. Storytelling is how you keep engagement. So delivering on your value proposition through storytelling is the way of doing it. You can do more research on how to record and edit on your own, and it depends on the idea. Whatever idea you want to do, it's going to be different. So I'm not going to go too much in depth on the recording, but I really recommend looking into storytelling. So now we've made the video, let's talk about the post-production stage. How do you actually get this video fully made and interest on YouTube? So first is the editing, and similar to the recording, it's a creative process. I'm not going to go too much in depth. You guys can watch videos on how to edit YouTube videos. However, there's 3 main tips that I think I should talk about. Cut out any dead space. If you're not delivering on the video's idea, the value proposition, then there's no reason for that to be in the video. So don't put it in. Second, don't over edit. It doesn't matter how much you edit. Your video is never going to be a Mr. Beast video. It doesn't need to be a Mr. Beast video. As long as you deliver on the value, the promise, and why people are clicking, that's all that matters. It could be no editing whatsoever, but if that recording is providing value, people will watch it. And last but not least, edit around the value proposition. So similar to the first tip, if it's not promising on the reason to watch that video, the reason people clicked, they're going to click off and it will hurt your engagement. So now let's talk about the thumbnails, and to do that, let's do a bit of market research. Here's 2 game development YouTube videos that are almost identical. One is 1 year of learning game development in 6 minutes. The other one is what I learned after 10 years of game development. And you might be thinking, 10 years of game development, that's a lot more practical value. It's a better video. But ironically, the first video has 2.4 million views, and the second video has 9,000 views. So what's the difference? Also, both these channels are not verified. They both have less than 100,000 subscribers. So how did it get 2 million views? Well, the thumbnail in general, the first one is much more colorful. It's a lot more eye-catching. It makes a bigger difference than you'd think. But most importantly, there's a contrast representing the video's idea. The first one's going from a 2D sprite that's not very colorful to 3D, full color, and atmosphere. It tells me as a viewer, I'm going to learn more information from watching that video than the bottom one. For the bottom one, it's a 2D character sprite, and sure there's some colors, and then the second one is another 2D character sprite. So if I'm someone who's new and wants to get into game development, and I want to learn as much as possible, I'm not going to click on the bottom video because it doesn't show me what you've learned. The top video shows a very large difference. So really emphasize the video's value proposition in the thumbnail. Here's another example. The first one is I made a video in 24 hours. The second one is learning 2D game development in 24 hours. Basically identical, the only difference is 2D game development. So why does the first video have 1 million views and the second one have 3,000 views? That's pretty crazy. First of all, the first one's very, very clear. The second one says made in 24 hours, and it's showing me a Mario screenshot and some code. Like, what did you make in 24 hours? You're not showing me anything. Why should I care about what you made in 24 hours? Where the first one, that image on the right, even though you can't see it, you can make out some information to make some assumptions. It looks like a 3D game. It looks very colorful. It looks like there's a large amount of art because there's a lot of different things happening. So how did you get to that point in 24 hours? That curiosity, that value, is why that video has 1 million views and the other one has 3,000. So in general, I'm just going to summarize some of these thumbnail tips. First of all, make the value proposition as clear as possible. The reason you want to click on that video needs to be obvious, and you need to understand it at a very short glance at the thumbnail and title. Second, colorful, eye-catching, you guys understand that. 3, emphasize the value. So whatever reason you're clicking on that video, make that value as clear as possible to drive curiosity. Number 4, make the viewers curious. So once again, drive that value, the curiosity. And number 5, interest everyone in your audience. So yes, make people curious, but make sure everyone that might see your video has a reason to click and watch it. And before I finish up, I just want to show and showcase a great resource if you want to improve content creation, but also, even if you don't want to make content, content creation is a form of marketing, and these values, they're one-to-one in other forms of marketing. So I really recommend check out Colin and Samir. They do amazing interviews with almost every top content creator in the world, and they go in a lot of depth from a educational lens to want to improve that content creation. So definitely check them out. And thank you so much for listening to my presentation. Does anyone have any questions? Jack?
Do you feel like there's an uncanny valley for sort of the egregiousness of thumbnails? Or not thumbnails, titles. So like, obviously I made a game in 1 second is so egregious that it kind of breaches into being interesting again, but do you think there's a point of like an egregiously bad take that is bad in a way that makes people not want to watch the video rather than watch it?
Yeah, so it's a slippery slope for sure. Like if you go too far, it actually is a brand liability. But what matters more than the title is if you're delivering on that title. So like if you're trying to make a game in 1 second, like obviously you're not going to make a game in 1 second. Maybe with like a ChatGPT prompt and it creates pawns. Make that video, I'll watch it. But yeah, like if you deliver on it, you're good. If you don't deliver on that value whatsoever, then it's clickbait. It's misinformation, you're lying, right? So just don't lie, but it's okay to emphasize and make it more emotional to connect to your audience and make them interested.
I mean, yeah, for the most part, the idea is like, will they even click on it if they feel like the premise is clickbait?
It depends on the context. Like a 1 second game, you think so, but
that one I think is good.
With AI, like who knows what it's gonna do, right? So it's a case by case scenario.
Wow. I see you're a YouTuber, and for small companies, for example, we're slowly getting something out there, and we have a game that's going to be launched in October or November. And do you recommend, for example, for just the purpose of showing the game itself, going around and putting it on the internet, making shorts about it or making actual videos about it? I am more inclined about making shorts than actual videos, but I'm curious about you.
When you say charts,
YouTube shorts.
Shorts.
Yeah, YouTube shorts.
Yeah, it depends. Like, if you were to sell me like an elevator pitch, like why should I play your game? That's the value proposition, right? Yeah. So if you can showcase that value, it can definitely do well in short form. Like if you can tell people why they should be interested, that value in the first 10 seconds, your short's going to do very well. Especially, it's like browse, you're going to hit a wide audience. So I definitely recommend doing shorts in TikTok, but YouTube, you're watching a YouTuber for a much longer period of time, you're going to have a higher customer acquisition through YouTube, long form YouTube content. However, long form is much harder than making a 30-second video. So the answer is both, but also whatever you see the most success in. Try one, try the other, see which one you prefer making, and also which one gets you the best results. I've had shorts that have over 1 million views, and TikTok shorts, same thing. And even though it got 1 million views, the odds of those people remembering who I am after watching it is incredibly low. It's not the right kind of viewership, where if someone watches me talk about how to make a video game or how to play Brawlhalla, you make a more emotional connection. It's like if someone was to coach you in real life. So I hope that answers your question. Just do both, I guess. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, anytime. Any other questions? Once, twice, 3 times. There we go.
I was thinking more about what he was saying about like shorts and like long form content. I feel like if it's possible, they will consider it in both ends because short and long form both offer you something in some capacity, whereas long form is interest. You can use shorts to engage or even grab interest from people and use the long form to get people invested. Like use short form to get people in, use long form to get people in.
Another great feature, YouTube Shorts allows you to link the YouTube video it's related to now. So if someone really likes your video game after watching a short of it, they'll click on a video to see the trailer, and then they'll make a better, more emotional connection or the gameplay video or whatever.
Because what I thought was you could use the shorts to lead people to the game itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shorts are harder to monetize in a way that's you're going to go even or positive. However, shorts is almost like advertisement in itself. It doesn't require a lot of effort, but it's to advertise your long form content, or I guess your game is like a long form content. What's the difference? But
Yeah, I was thinking more like, for example, if I make up myself an video and you play the game for a long time, it doesn't feel organic. I wouldn't say it feels organic for myself to go there and play my own game and post it on YouTube.
yeah, like a gameplay video is obviously useful when you're making a game, you want to showcase the gameplay. But outside of that, like let's say you make 3 gameplay videos, why would someone watch the other ones over the first one? So maybe if you got a content creator, or if you promise like a specific level in your game provides value because it's the hardest boss they've ever had to fight, or it's like some crazy attractive visual that's like new technology and you put that in the thumbnail, new value.
Being a dev for a game and making a video about the game, you have a unique perspective of being the dev for the game. So you can talk about what it's like on the inside to not only help the people who want to watch you play the game, but also help people who are trying to make games or interested in that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like if you're trying to target people who want to make games, I'd recommend an SEO approach and then title it like how I made this game or something like that. And so when someone looks up how to make this game, you can put those keywords in the description and then it will still come up. And it's still one-to-one value, it's very similar. So if you target a specific of game developers, use SEO primarily. But if you want to target a bit of a wider audience, you're gonna have to convince people why should they listen to me as, like to them it's a random game developer. So there's gotta be something else that provides new value to that viewer.
So what I'm seeing is it's not as bad, for example, if I actually do YouTube Shorts than it's still a video.
Yeah. The shorts can advertise the video, even if the video doesn't do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thing about shorts is there's a little YouTube option inside of your options as a creator. Turn off the option for shorts to be sent to subscribers.
If you have subscribers, I agree. If we're starting from scratch, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But that way, if subscribers aren't interested in your content or just not updating themselves, it's always going to lie back to viewers.
There's a ton of YouTube videos on tips and tricks. At the end of the day, just start making content. Your first video is not going to be great. Your second's not going to be great. But if it's fun, you keep doing it, and you're going to get it outstanding. So, yeah. Good.
Hey, one last question, anyone? Anyone? All right, thank you very much, Cole. That was great.